Man, what's good? It's your boy, you know what to do, man. We back. We got a lot of drama today, man. We got all the FaZe boys leaving FaZe, but we got a big bad beef going on, okay? We got PlaqueBoyMax beefing with FaZe Banks, but it's really like a one-way beef. So we're gonna be seeing who would do the best in an MMA fight, in a boxing fight, in a street fight, and in a jiu-jitsu fight, okay? We're gonna be going through all the martial arts, and we're gonna be seeing who would be the best in each aspect. Okay, so first, before we can get into breaking down who would be the best fighter, we gotta break down their size, weight, all this and that. So look, Google doesn't really know too much, but I can't really verify it. It says that Ricky Banks, okay, FaZe Banks is about 6'4", 6'6". It didn't know his weight or his arm span, but I'd imagine it's around like 180 arm span. Like, he's a pretty tall, lengthy guy. Well, I don't think his arms are too long, but I mean, he's a tall dude. And it said it didn't know his weight, so we're just gonna say he's like 6'4", 220 pounds. I mean, I don't really know like weight and shit. I could be calling him fat. I don't really know. And he's like 34, right? So we got 34, 6'6", 180 reach. Whereas PlaqueBoyMax, 22, also doesn't know his weight, but I'd imagine he's around maybe 190, maybe 180. I don't think he's that heavy. He's around, it didn't say his height, but I think I've heard that he's like 5'8", 5'9". So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, we'll say he's 5'9" versus 6'4", 180 versus 215. But Banks has about 12 years on PlaqueBoyMax. So we're gonna get straight into the breakdown, y'all. Alright, so we're gonna start with what I think is gonna be the most clear-cut form of fighting, okay? I think in boxing, we're gonna start with boxing, okay? I think that PlaqueBoyMax has absolutely no chance when it comes to beating FaZe Ricky Banks in a boxing match, okay? Why do I think that? Boxing is a very specific sport, okay? It specifically favors your hands, okay? It doesn't really matter if you got like good legs and shit. Like, yeah, you need footwork, but like, you're not kicking. And when it comes to the reach, right, we got a 6'4" guy, 180 wingspan. Oh, I forgot to say PlaqueBoyMax's wingspan. His wingspan is probably like 165, 168-ish, around 170, okay? Nah, he got like small arms, bro. He probably like 160-ish. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got a 6'4", 180. He got like 20 inches of reach over the guy. He got like, I can't do the quick math. He got like maybe half a foot over the guy. I mean, PlaqueBoyMax could have the best footwork in the world, okay? Even if he's able to get into range, Ricky, or why do I keep calling him Ricky? Banks could just clinch up, like push him over and shit, like Chase Demore did. I really don't think it needs too much breaking down, okay? With a big, taller guy. I mean, he's 34, like, it is theoretically the prime. Like, I would rather have, say they were both 6'4", right? The 22-year-old I would probably pick over the 34-year-old. But I think, I mean, the guy's been in the business a long time. I mean, y'all seen the clip from like the GameStop. I might put it in here, I might not. This man has been on the block for like a decade, bro. This guy, like, he had Rice Gum, now he got Jason the Ween and shit. He go have a third generation Asian, bro. He's on God a boss, but like, I don't even think that has nothing to do with boxing. I just think it's like the experience of the game. Like, if you're 30 and if you're 20, it's probably a 30-year-old boxer is gonna win. Even though the 20-year-old guy, I said I would rather pick him, but I'm a bit of an idiot when it comes to picking, and I think the younger guy is like more fresh and this and that. But if you 20 and say you start training when you were like 15, and then if you're 30, you got 15 years over 5. I mean, it don't even matter if you're a little cobbly wobbly and shit. I'd rather have a cobbly wobbly guy that knows what he's doing against a little fresh guy that don't know what the fuck's going on. So I'm gonna say, first of all, in boxing, we got Banks 1-0, okay? Banks got 1 right now, PlaqueBoyMax got 0. And if this comes to a tie, I'm gonna have to figure out a 5th form of fighting, okay? We go get into the second one right now. And I'm gonna just break it down, okay? We got boxing, MMA, wrestling / jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and street fight, okay? I just figured out the 5th, okay? So we got boxing, kickboxing / Muay Thai, MMA, wrestling / jiu-jitsu, and street fight, okay? We will get straight into MMA, which I think is going to be the most complex. Now you might be thinking, why do I say that MMA is the most complex? Okay, what about a street fight? What about jiu-jitsu? That shit is supposed to be like mad autistic and complex. But look, MMA got all of that, okay? We don't got the knives and stupid shit like a street fight, okay? We can do lightweight with the headbutts, but look, the clinch up, if Max gets into the clinch in MMA, he may be able to take down Banks. And my main point, the main toss-up in all of this, right? I've been watching YouTube since forever, okay? The thing that I really remember when I think about Banks is his overdose when he quit YouTube, Alyssa Violet, and that's about it. So, hey bro, I've been on the move forever. I've been watching this guy forever, okay? He been in the old FaZe house, he been in the clout house, he been in like wherever, and not once have I ever seen this man throw a punch, throw a kick, move with any speed, okay? I've never seen no athleticism out of this man, Richard Bankswold, or whatever his name was, Ricky Banks, okay? I never seen no athleticism, and I don't seen the clip of PlaqueBoyMax, he was with like the really tall WMMA woman, or WNBA, or whatever the difference is, and she say something, and he done jump like 10 feet into the air. And I have a tried and true method in MMA where if I don't know who either of the guys are fighting or how good either of them are, I'd rather pick the black guy over the white guy, okay? But that isn't gonna cut it here, okay? We have an actual breakdown going on, okay? PlaqueBoyMax is half white, half black, right? That's what, I'm not gonna say that. I should edit it out. That's why he's not PlaqueBoyMax. Anyways, PlaqueBoyMax is half white, half black, okay? But he don't got like a Steph Curry type of like light skin build. I don't know why I said half white, half black. That's kind of wild. But either way, he'd be light skinned, but he not on some like mad athletic shit. Like I feel like he got like the white build, you know what I mean? So it's really like two white build people. Like he's not white, but like half and half, you know? If you say he's black, you could also say he's white, even though the skin of his color ain't white. But that's what being white is nowadays. We got two white people against each other. But I like shorter people in MMA, because what you could do in MMA, you could really like hit at the legs, and yeah, they got the long legs, but you can use it as your advantage. They're gonna be trying to kick you, grab the kicks and do whatever with the legs, pull them in, throw them around, fucking stomp them while you're holding it. I really think PlaqueBoyMax has a really good chance against Banks. Also, boxing, I think it would be like 8 rounds, 3 minutes. I don't really know how boxing works, to be completely honest. MMA we're doing championship 5-5. I think PlaqueBoyMax would probably gas out, like, I think Banks would gas out sooner than PlaqueBoyMax would because he's older. And also, I think that PlaqueBoyMax is like doing more active shit. So I'm gonna have to say it's 1-1, okay? Boxing for Banks, MMA for Max, okay? We go get into the third one, okay? We go get into Muay Thai, baby. We go get straight into it. Actually, we're not doing Muay Thai, okay? That is a stupid fucking idea, okay? The next one we're gonna get into is Jiu-Jitsu / wrestling, okay? And after Street Fight, I'm gonna tell y'all what the next one is, because Muay Thai would be fucking boring, okay? It's kind of the same thing, like Banks probably could just out-punch, but also Muay Thai is different, blah, 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 but nobody really knows that. So it's not fucking interesting, okay? We're gonna get straight into the wrestling, baby. Wrestling, yeah! Alright, boys. Next up, we got wrestling, okay? We got jiu-jitsu, okay? We starting standing up, and without punching or kicking, you gotta somehow get the opponent to the ground or into a submission, okay? Who do I think is gonna win this? I think it's pretty clear Ricky Banks is gonna get it done, okay? I don't understand how the rounds work. I think it might be like 1 round, 30 minutes. It could be 2 rounds. I don't understand how the hell it works. We're just gonna say it's 1 round, okay? Get in the ring. You're not leaving the ring until someone has tapped, okay? In that scenario, I think that PlaqueBoyMax would have to get in. He's a shorter guy. Banks could just like fend him off and shit. I don't think that Banks ever has to go for anything, and there's no draws in this, okay? It's like barbaric. You have to tap, okay? You are not leaving, not pissing, drinking water, eating nothing. You're not doing shit until you get the tap, okay? I think that Banks would win in that scenario. If it comes to like any submissions, even if like they are on the ground, PlaqueBoyMax is in a dominant position, no homo. I don't think that he would have the strength to overpower. Yeah, this is such a gay sport. I don't think that he would have the strength to overpower Banks to bend the man how he wished. Or if you want to put it into a more concise term, I don't think that he would have the strength to put him in any type of submission. I think that Banks would just be able to defend it, okay? Next, we're going to get into the street fight, okay? I think the street fight is also quite straightforward, okay? I don't think Banks has ever been in a fight. I think he pays people to fight for him. And as much as I think that PlaqueBoyMax is light skin, he still got that melanin in him, okay? He go get straight to cracking, okay? I ain't never been in a street fight, but if someone trying to fight me in the street, I'll fight him in the street. On God, bro, on God. And you gotta have that type mentality to do good in a street fight. I don't think that Banks got that mentality, okay? If they're fighting down the road and one of them sees a chair, I don't think that Banks is gonna have the idea to pick up the chair and smash PlaqueBoyMax over the head. And I think that PlaqueBoyMax is already gonna have that idea. He's gonna pick it up, use it as like a Roman shield, push him, jab him in the shit. He's gonna go, oh, and then you're gonna crack him over the fucking head with a fucking chair, okay? It's gonna be like WWE, because these guys are like Clippers. They don't know how to do anything real, okay? But I think that PlaqueBoyMax would get it done in a street fight based off of street intellect, okay? In the final aspect, okay? The final aspect of the fighting, we're at 2-2, it's a tie. This is a very big decision, okay? What fighting martial art are we gonna pick to decide who would win in the ultimate battle versus between PlaqueBoyMax and FaZe Banks? I've thought hard. I didn't think for very long though, okay? We're doing dog fighting, okay? I don't quite know the rules and ramifications of dog fighting. I thought I knew it, but then I thought and realized if you have a losing dog, you're probably gonna have to keep getting new dogs. So I don't think it works like that, okay? I think dogs have 3 lives, okay? Each ear and the tail. Once you get, well, I'm not gonna get too into that, but I think you can understand what I'm going off, okay? So the dog kind of has 3 lives. After that, you either retire him or put him down. I don't know how it works to be a fighting dog, okay? I don't know anything about that. But I think that one thing needs to be clear. You could be as good as a fighter as you could possibly be, okay? You could win in boxing and jiu-jitsu, or you could win in a street fight, or whatever the other thing I said PlaqueBoyMax would win in. But I think the best way to see if you're a good fighter is not only to see if you could be good at fighting, but if you can train another person to be good at fighting. But on top of that, it doesn't even need to be a person. If you could train any breathing, living thing on this earth to fucking fight, who would be the best dog training killer assassin dog fighting machine, okay? Is it PlaqueBoyMax or is it FaZe Banks, okay? I'm gonna do some deliberation, okay? I really have to think about it, learn a bunch of things, see who's closer to Hassan, see who's closer to other people. I have to do a bunch of research into this shit. I'm gonna get that to y'all right now though. Alright, so from what I can gather from Grok, biting off the ear or tail doesn't end the fight because human interference is like a forfeit. But in this fight, okay, the FaZe people, they need their clips. So the dogs aren't gonna die, okay? But usually in a dog fight, I guess that's how it ends, or whenever a dog submits, but usually they're not gonna submit because they're a fighting dog. Anyways, we're gonna need team captains, okay? I think that PlaqueBoyMax, well, first of all, it's PlaqueBoyMax against Banks, right? But I think the 2 people that are gonna be like teaching them how to teach the dogs have to be Hassan Piker, who's known for shot caller and all this and that about the dogs, and Logan Paul, who's a little bit less known about his dog abuse, but he has many random shit that I remember from over the years, like dropping plates in front of his dog and letting it shatter, abandoning one of his, I'll get to that after, that same dog that he threw the plates for, it died and got killed by coyotes. He got like a Tiberian Mastiff or something, and it either died or he gave it away. He gave away another dog. He abandoned some teacup pig because they don't fucking exist. They're just baby pigs marketed to retards. And he bought a pig, and once he realized it was a fucking pig, not a mystical tiny pig, he abandoned it in a little field. He had a parrot die. This guy is not very good with animals, but he can train dogs, okay? He had a Mastiff, and you need to be the big man to have a Mastiff. So we have Hassan, who's probably going to be training PlaqueBoyMax. I don't see a world where Logan Paul has any relation to PlaqueBoyMax, whether it be racism. So Logan Paul is going to be teaching Banks, and Hassan is going to be teaching PlaqueBoyMax. Now, given PlaqueBoyMax, I think already has better results because he looks more like Mike Vick, and he probably knows more about football, okay? So I think that PlaqueBoyMax already has a bit of an edge. But like I said about the experience thing, Logan Paul has been in the business of abusing animals way longer than Hassan has been, allegedly. So I think that it's a pretty even fight, okay? We're going to go based off of, I don't know if I should do Dobermans or Pit Bulls. I think Dobermans, because Dobermans have the big ears, big tails. They're not crumped or anything. We're not doing like the crumped and shit. And Pit Bulls are just big and bulky, and there's not much like, it's really about the strength. It's like Francis Ngannou, you know? It's not really about the technique, you know? We want like Conor McGregor type of striking in these kind of fights, you know what I mean? So if we have Doberman versus Doberman, one is trained by PlaqueBoyMax and Hassan, and one is trained by FaZe, Banks, and Logan Paul. Ooh, that's a really fucking hard one, because I think that Logan Paul would have the edge, but it's not about Logan Paul. Logan Paul is putting the information into Banks, and I think that Banks would be able to pick up the information really well. I think that he would also be able to execute on it really well. Damn, I think Banks is a really good shot, okay? I really think Banks is a good shot. Now, what about Hassan and Max, okay? Hassan is going to obviously put that shot collar around the dog. And one thing that dogs are not allowed to have in them fights are shot collars. How do I know that? I think it's pretty intuitive. AI didn't even need to tell me that one. Hey, I figured that one out on my own, okay? You're not allowed to have a shot collar in a fight. So however much training you do of this dog with that shot collar, you need to understand that once he's in the ring, the shot collar is not going to be there, okay? You could be in training with brass knuckles, okay? But once training is over, the brass knuckles are gone, and you really got to go in and fight there. And that's the same kind of thing, okay? That dog is scared, and you're shocking him into submission, or domination, I guess, in this point. You're shocking him into becoming a fighter, or vibrating him. You're shocking this dog into becoming a fighter. And one way that a dog can lose, a dog can forfeit. Usually they do it in a pit or in an abandoned building, said Grok. So if they're in like a big ass pit, I guess, like in an abandoned golf course, in one of the sand pits has been turned into a dog cage, and one of these dogs jumps 8 to 10 feet out of the arena, that would be a forfeit, okay? So this dog would have to jump like fucking hell or run up the wall to get out of here, and I think the dog might be scared without the shot collar, and I don't have plausible deniability or without a reasonable doubt to think that Banks would do a good job of raising a fighting dog. I do have plausible deniability and a reason to think that PlaqueBoyMax and Hassan would have a bit of a problem raising a dog. I know, shocker. I think that they would have a bit of a problem training their dog to be able to fight without that shot collar. And because I don't have absolute certainty in Hassan being, well, actually, I don't know if, that's the thing though. I think that Banks is going to take what Logan Paul is saying and apply it, but I don't know that PlaqueBoyMax is going to take what Hassan is saying and apply it, because he's seen all the backlash and he's a very performative male, okay? I've never used that term and I don't even really know exactly what it means, but looking at PlaqueBoyMax, he seems very performative, and he's gonna do what the people want, okay? And the people aren't really fucking with Hassan right now. So I don't even think that he's gonna apply that method. So it's really complicated at this point, and we're gonna need a third person, okay? The referee is Leafy is here, okay? We're bringing him out of retirement for an incredible outing, okay? It's almost 10 years. Wow, I feel like an uncle, bro. I feel so old. But I was a child, bro, when Leafy was here saying that he was gonna bash the bitch over the head with rocks that was saying that she was eating out and having a relationship with her dog, okay? Leafy is gonna be the referee because he's seen this kind of dog abuse time and time again, and people just called him crazy, they banned him, but he was really looking out for the dogs at the end of the day, and we don't really need a referee. I think that Leafy is gonna be on my heart's telling me he would be on Banks' side, honestly, but we're just gonna say he needs a lifeline. PlaqueBoyMax needs a lifeline. Leafy comes in, helps him out and shit. If we got that, okay, because Hassan ain't really fucking with, like, we not fucking with Hassan. He not with the program, you know what I mean? The WNBA ain't fucking with Hassan. We can't go near Hassan, all this and that, right? But Logan Paul's racist. He don't want us, you know what I mean? If I'm PlaqueBoyMax, bro, I'm really folded, bro. Banks would easily win that shit, and that's who would win the fight, okay? Y'all saw the live deliberation with myself over who would win this shit, okay? Out of all of the fights that didn't matter, it came down to the tiebreaker, and when it really mattered, I think that Banks would be able to train a fighting dog to bite the ear or tail off of PlaqueBoyMax's fighting dog better than PlaqueBoyMax's fighting dog would be able to bite an ear or tail off of FaZe Banks' fighting dog. And with that and those reasons, I believe that FaZe Banks' fighting dog would be able to fight PlaqueBoyMax's fighting dog better than PlaqueBoyMax's fighting dog would be able to fight FaZe Banks' fighting dog. So, to conclude the video, I think that at the end of the day, if it were to come down to a band for band, if it were to come down to any kind of fight, if it were to become down to a cloud off, if it were to become down to who put on more people, if it were to be down to who's more corny, if it were to come down to who is more corny yet more influential, and all of those things, it all goes to Banks. But none of that matters, okay? Who would be the best at training a dog to fucking bite the tail or ear off the other? It has to be Banks, okay? PlaqueBoyMax just seems a little too, like, iffy-affy, like, oh, am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do that? Am I gonna leave FaZe? Oh, I left FaZe. But this is why I left FaZe. Only when FaZe is going down. He seems like he's really only doing shit to help him out, but he don't really know what to do when the time comes to really strike, okay? When you're put down to your last dime and you're say, gun to your head, you better train your dog better than FaZe Banks trains his dog, or you're gonna get popped, brother. I think he's gonna start calling up his mom and the chaplain and everybody he knows and saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You know, he don't got nothing to say. He don't know even what's going on because he don't know how to train this dog, okay? Banks is taking the fight, okay? That's been my video, okay? I hope you guys enjoy my video, okay? I hope you guys like my video, okay? I hope you guys video, okay? I hope video. Alright. Fuck this.